So I want to give Sergio, he's a senior RSG contributor. Sergio Vidian, you know him from Show Me the Money Club. Great content. I respect him dearly. He knows that. And he always sends me great articles. He brings quality to that channel, right? To Harry's channel. And this particular topic, right? Should Uber and Lyft do more to protect drivers? It has to do about safety. And obviously, Sergio knows that this topic is dear to me, is dear to my channel, because we really try to protect drivers in this channel. We really try to come up with solutions to keep drivers safe. We really try to put the pressure on the companies to keep gig workers safer. So without doubt, I'm going to make a video on this. He sent it over this morning. I appreciate it. Happy New Year to you, Sergio. He says, is driver safety being taken seriously enough by rideshare and delivery companies? Senior RSG contributor Sergio Avidian isn't so sure. Below, he shares a story of a carjacking experience and what the rideshare companies did to handle this situation. Are you surprised by their response? So let's find out what their response is. It says, not a day goes by that we don't hear about driver assaults, carjackings, and unfortunately the killing of rideshare delivery workers around the country. 100% correct. Let's let that sink in, right? Why do you think I've been so vocal attacking Jill Hazelbaker and the executives about this every single day? And they seem to be okay with it because it's sort of like part of their public relations. Oh, another carjacking. Oh, another murder. Oh, another assault, another rape in a car, right? They're okay with it. If they weren't okay with it, they would do something about it, right? So I'm on the same page with him. Not a day goes by that we don't hear about driver assaults, carjackings, and unfortunately the killing of rideshare delivery workers around the country. Although Uber and Lyft have introduced tools in the app to protect drivers, I believe we are on our own. 100% correct. As a veteran driver of 7 years, I've created my own safeguards, and I urge all drivers to do the same. I take matters into my own hands if I have to. If the shit hits the storm or something bad happens, who knows? You might have to act, right? So he's definitely a veteran driver. He's been out there for 7 years. He's created his own safeguards, and he urges all drivers to do the same. No amount of money Uber or Lyft is going to pay you is worth taking on a trip that looks fishy from the start. Cancel the ride and move on. Trust your gut. You've heard me say that over and over and over again, right? Your life is not worth a lot more than a passenger waiting a few extra minutes to get picked up. As I previously said, Show Me the Money Club, SMTMC, has been an amazing experience for me over the past 6 months. Our weekly live stream has given me a platform to inform and educate drivers all over the country, and he's doing a fantastic job. Him and his partner is Chris and Sergio. We banged heads a little bit about the topic strike, but 99.9% of the time I agree with Sergio. It's quality, right? Quality show that everybody should follow. So he says, my gratitude is endless for our growing community and your support is much appreciated. And if you haven't seen them, go over to Harry's channel, leave the link below to this article and subscribe. And you can pick up a good show called Show Me the Money Club. One of these people is Babajidi Zarumi. His story hit me hard, and with his permission, I felt compelled to share it with our readers, viewers. What happened to him could have happened to anyone. Before continuing, I want to make it clear, I don't blame Uber or Lyft for the events that happened below, but I do think rideshare companies need to do more to help drivers when terrible things do happen. Sarumi has created a petition for driver safety that you can sign here. 99% of the time, myself in my channel, I blame Uber and Lyft for these safety issues, and I'm not shy to say it, right? So Babajidi Zarumi and how he got started with rideshare driving. Zarumi was born in Nigeria, and at the age of 25, he left everything behind and immigrated to the United States. through a green card lottery he won in his native country. Like most immigrants, he wanted to better his life, and his story is nothing short of remarkable. As soon as Surumi arrived, he started working at a fast food restaurant, and in April 2006, he joined the Navy Reserves. He was deployed to Iraq in 2008 and was there for 10 months. After getting honorably discharged from the military, he settled down in Houston, Texas, and got a job as a security guard while he was attending college. He graduated from the University of Houston with a BA in warehouse management and got a job at a major oil company where he worked for 6 years. Everything was trending up for him until Hurricane Harvey hit in 2017, when he lost everything again except his car. He had to dig deep and figure out how to survive, and that is when he started driving for Uber in 2018. The trip that changed everything. As rideshare drivers, we are exposed to all kinds of people and situations. 99% of the rides we give are pleasant and uneventful. But all it takes is one to change someone's life. Correct. During the early morning hours of January the 23rd, 2022, about a year ago, Surumi got a request, as we all do, drove to the pickup spot where 4 teenagers were waiting. The teens shouldn't have let them in the car. They're teenagers. The teens got in the car, but when he started to ride, Surumi got a weird feeling in the pit of his stomach. This trip was just going around the block. His guard was up during this minimum fare trip as he noticed that the pickup and drop-off were literally the same address. Total giveaway. You notice that, you immediately stop and you get out. Immediately stop and you get out, right? With that in mind, he took the 4 teenagers to their destination and they proceeded to get out of his car. The next moment, Surumi had a gun pointed at his head on the driver's side, as well as a gun pointed at him on the passenger side of the car. He was ordered to get out, at which point he thought he was going to get killed. He left everything in the car, including his phone and keys in the ignition. He was just praying that these were not his last moments on earth. That's the trip. Went around the block. So this article should teach us so much, right? Got 4 teenagers. It was 2 or 3 teenagers. 1 teenager get in the car. You see this pattern? Stop, get out, right? Order them out. In Surumi's own words, I was robbed at gunpoint by 4 teenagers while driving for Uber around 2:18 a.m. on January the 23rd, 22. I got robbed of my car, Black Dodge Avenger, and all my properties inside the car and in the trunk by my Uber passengers. They pretended to get out of the car and suddenly flanked me with 2 pistols on both sides of my car. All I was able to tell them was, please don't shoot. You can have my car. I heard the teenager on my driver's side screaming, get out, twice. I immediately obeyed him, got out the car. He did the right things. He got out the car, right? And ran for his life. At that point, I was afraid he could still shoot me in my back. So I kept running as fast as I could to put distance between us. And if you do that, you run in zigzag. You never run in a straight line, right? You run zigzag, right? Because if they do decide to fire, very, very high chance that they'll miss you if you're running away and you're running zigzag. Pa, 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 right? Moving target. Straight target, line it up in the back. No bueno. So since he had left everything in his car, it took him a day to contact Uber safety team and report the incident. A few days later, the Uber safety team called Surumi and the response was nothing short of insulting. I wouldn't have expected anything else, right? As you will see in the screenshots below, here is a driver in need and all they could do is offer Surumi assistance to get him into a rental car to continue driving. A few days later, the detective in charge of the investigation called Surumi and informed him that the juvenile criminals had used his car during another robbery and crashed it. They were going to hold his car to do forensics and told him that he would get his car out of police custody when they finished the investigation. A month later, Surumi got his badly damaged car. That's what it looked like. How sad is that, huh? So Uber's safety team response is all there, right? It's all documented there. A month went by. At this time, Surumi was contacted by the detective assigned to this case who asked him if he could identify the criminal in a photo lineup, which he was able to do. The carjacker was arrested and charged. Then Surumi contacted Uber support again on February the 25th, 2022, and to his amazement found out that there was no record of his incident on Uber's systems. The agent boldly told him that this case must have fallen through the cracks. Wow, the story takes an unexpected turn. I would think that the laws in Texas would be tougher when it comes to dealing with a serious crime such as carjacking. Unfortunately, since the criminals were juveniles, the Fort Bend County District Attorney made a deal to only charge them with unauthorized use of vehicle. Wow. And they avoided going to detention or jail. They were ordered to pay restitution for Sarumi's damages of $4,000. In October 2022, the criminal case was resolved. The juvenile perpetrator was ordered to pay him $100 a month for the next 40 months. What are the odds of Sarumi getting paid in full? As of December 22, he still has not signed the order. Wow. The above named individual was tried in the 434th District Court. Blah, blah, blah. Please complete the certificate enclosed and return it to the address. We cannot process these payments without the certificate. Takeaways for drivers. What is the world coming to? Unfortunately, amazing people like Sarumi keep driving for Uber and justice does not prevail. I'm sick and tired of hearing drivers getting hurt in the line of duty without recourse in most cases. We must put a stop to this, especially criminals who can order the victims of these violent acts to come to them. How can we accomplish that? The TNCs must change their policies to onboard riders on the platforms. Thank you. They must require all passengers to upload valid government IDs instead of fake names and debit cards. How many times has this channel said that? Almost daily, right? But again, it's good that we get another smart individual like Sergio to confirm everything what drivers want, right? A valid government ID, valid photo, no fake names. Drivers have been asking for this, Uber and Lyft, every single day. And what do? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. During my interview with Sachin Kansal, I was assured that things will change. Time will tell. After all, the passengers know everything about the driver when they request a ride: name, car, make, model, rating, picture, experience, etc. What kind of information is a driver given? Not much, other than where to pick up the passenger and their rider rating. No Uber and Lyft, that is not enough. Be safe out there. So great article. It just sums up everything we are preaching daily, right? And that is why it's not difficult for me to make any video on safety, right? Because it's basically repeating what drivers have been demanding year after year after year. Listen up, Uber and Lyft, you're failing us on safety. Listen up, public and rider, they're also failing you on safety, right? It's got to be checks and balances, both sides, riders and drivers. Anything less than that is not acceptable. So turn to your congressman, turn to your mayors, your senators, turn to social media, turn to Twitter, circulate this video, put it in Facebook groups, retweet it, attach Uber, attach Lyft, put the pressure on them. Jill Hazelbaker, you need to step down. The PR manager of Lyft, you need to step down. The CEO of Uber and Lyft, you need to step down. It is time that drivers get the very, very basics. And I will not rest, and I'm sure Sergio will not rest until we've accomplished these goals. Please be safe.